Thanks very much, Helen. Can I tell you that from the great privilege that I have as being president of the World Federation of Public Health Associations to enjoy this Congress in the way that we have has been just quite extraordinary. But it's also worth us remembering that today is World Health Day, as the Minister said earlier, and the theme is depression. Of course, we want to take a positive attitude to that. We want to work out how we can deal with it, accepting mental health issues as a normal part of health, and remembering that people who do have mental health issues do recover and we can assist them. And removing the stigmatisation that goes with them is actually the real thought behind having depression as a theme on World Health Day. The World Federation of Public Health Associations attempted to get a framework for public health in the Global Charter for the public's health, which is available, of course, on the World Federation website. If you're not using that in your teaching, it's probably time to have a really good look at it and to think about it. If you're not using it in terms of the way you conduct your own public health practice, then it's probably worth looking at it and trying to ensure that it can play a part in your thinking. We are in the Australian Public Health Association, we have set it as a fundamental basis and strategic direction for our own association. But let's remember what we're here for. We're here to learn from this and to influence. That's what it is that we want to do. We want to influence particularly governments, but we want to influence communities to ensure that we are doing more and more in making our communities healthier. We have been incredibly successful, but we are all very conscious that that success hasn't gone all the way across communities, that we have to make sure that those who have missed out become included, and that is so fundamental to what we do in public health here in Australia, where we work in the World Federation from Geneva, and in each and every part of the world. And one of the great pleasures of the role that I play is dealing with public health associations worldwide. And we had a series of meetings. The General Assembly of the World Federation of Public Health Association meetings were held here while your Congress was going on. We had reports back from a huge range of public health associations internationally, what they were doing and how they were having an impact in their countries, wrestling with incredible challenges that are being thrown up in front of communities, from the most powerful nation on the world through to South America, through to small, tiny Pacific islands. And I think that that's a really important learning lesson for us. And it reminds us that what we're on about is that work in advocacy and that work that reaches out to people through the media and, for example, through social media and Twitter. And Heather, if I can just do a little clarification, that 1 million impressions is actually 100 million impressions that have come from the tweeting thing. I think it's fabulous that I get the chance to add that. It just shows the influence that can be managed. And one of the really interesting things to me is we heard so many times right through the Congress how important advocacy was. How often is it funded by government? It's a really interesting phenomenon, and yet if you want to make the difference, empowering civil society is actually a really important way to do it, particularly in advanced democracies who should be recognising this. And perhaps we're not explaining that well enough, and perhaps we have to do more work in that area. And one of the things I think that's most important in this is making sure that we have you supporting us. So for those of you in Australia who are not at the moment a member of the Public Health Association or a member of the Health Promotion Association of Australia or the Faculty of Public Health Medicine or the Australian Women's Health Network, or in New Zealand a member of the Public Health Association of New Zealand, the Congress partners that we've been working with, please seriously consider joining. We get our power, we get our advocacy grunt from having the membership, and the membership being part and parcel of what we do. And the way we use membership to buy in on things, to help us form policies and to influence government is incredibly important. So have a think about that, because I think it's incredibly important, because our role is to make a difference. Our role is to influence. Our role is to get better public health. And one of the things that I'd like to refer to is a little later in the program, Letitia Rispel will be presenting the Melbourne demand for action. It's different from the statement that Heather Yateman's prepared. The demand for action is the work of the combined effort of those organisations that I've just mentioned with the World Federation. It's our combined effort. We're going to ask you, will you support it? But it was never intended to be an issue. A number of people have spoken to me about my issues not there, racism's not there, climate change is not there. Well, they are, they're embedded, but not specifically. It was specifically decided to be an umbrella style of document for that call, and we'll be seeking your support for that by Letitia Rispel later. I'd also like to say that this conference has not just been a conference of the World Federation, it's actually the conference time also of each of those partner organisations that I mentioned. It's also our regional, you're probably unaware, but it was also our regional conference for the Western Pacific, Asia-Western Pacific region. And in fact, the good news about the Asia-Pacific region is that we will be running the Asia-Pacific conference, and we're very pleased that New Zealand has agreed to hold that probably early 2019. We're just sorting out the details, but we're very delighted that's the case. And at the time we were sitting here, and Heather mentioned this, we had an appalling atrocity that took place in Syria. Now, my normal approach to this, as from the Public Health Association or from the World Federation of Public Health Associations, is this is part of our policy opposing this sort of weaponry and this sort of atrocity. I would just put out a press release. But since you're there and having drawn up a press release, I thought that I would seek your support for a statement to include in the press release that I'm putting out. So if we can have the statement that I'd like to have your support there. And the statement that I'd like to include in that press release is the delegates of the World Congress on Public Health in 2017 gathered in Melbourne, noting the atrocity in Syria this week, demand the immediate and total abolition of all chemical, biological and nuclear arms by the governments of all countries. I don't think I need to take a vote. It has been absolutely fabulous having you here. From my role as President of the World Federation of Public Health Association, I have learnt so much, and I have been so impressed by so many people putting in so much effort, and knowing that so many people are out there making a difference. Making a difference is what we're on about. Thank you.